3 jungle explorers, 5 challenges, 2 of these guys, and 1 mysterious jungle temple. It can only be one show. Hi everyone, welcome back. So I like to cover a lot of different pop culture stuff on my channel, and usually I just go with whatever interests me. And one of the things I've covered recently on my channel is loads of these British kids shows. So far Raven, Bamzuki, and Entrapped. And a bunch of you suggested that I cover a show that's been on my radar for a while, which is CITV's game show Jungle Run. So today, let's take a look at that. But before we do that, if you're not already, maybe subscribe? That'd be pretty cool. Jungle Run was another one of these adventure fantasy type game shows that the UK used to have a lot of. Out of the shows that I've covered so far, the closest one I'll compare it to is Raven, because both of these lean quite heavily on the fantasy fictional element, and they also cover a lot of really physical challenges. Jungle Run is kinda Indiana Jones Explorer themed, and if you're in the US, you might think of it as very similar to another show, Nickelodeon's Legends of the Hidden Temple. The basic format is that 3 participants are jungle explorers, who are guided around the area by the show's host. Over the course of the episode, they participate in 5 challenges, which, like Raven, are usually something physical like an obstacle course or a maze, or sometimes a puzzle. The purpose of the challenges is to try and win these silver monkey statues, which each count for 10 seconds inside the Temple of the Jungle King, the show's final challenge, where contestants try and win the grand prize. They can also win a ruby monkey, which counts for an additional 20 seconds in the temple rather than just 10, with the maximum time available in the temple being 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Unlike Raven, which took place outside, Jungle Run was supposed to look like it took place outside, but actually took place on a soundstage in Nottingham. So not quite the jungle, but close enough. But for that reason, even though they lost some of the realism, the sets were able to be more stylized and detailed, and that made it look a bit similar in aesthetic to another show on the network called The Crystal Maze. So the show always opens with the introduction of 3 participants, who each list their special skills that would help them in the jungle.
We are the Jumping Monkeys from North Berwick. My name is Murray, team leader. Jungle skills, mission planning, swimming, oarsman.
My name is Ewan, bounty hunter. Jungle skills, sailing, navigating, orienteering.
My name is Rory, Hawkeye. Jungle skills, boat handling, computers, tactician.
Computers? In the jungle? Yeah, so you're going to be crawling through some vines and then there's like a MacBook with Roblox on it. I'm George, and my special skills are playing video games and... well, I can do one of those Rubik's Cubes. Yeah, we're gonna die in here, aren't we? I suppose I've seen more worrying jungle skills on this show.
My name is Aaliyah, monkey wrangler. Jungle skills, animal taming, snorkeling, demolition.
I've already plotted your route, which should get us to the temple by nightfall. And your first location is here at the old fort. Oh, and one word of warning. Look out for Sid and Elvis. They're the Jungle King's monkeys and most loyal servants, and they're gonna do whatever it takes to make sure your mission fails. So I've got to ask you, are you sure you want to do this?
No, actually not at all, but we're kind of deep in the jungle and I don't really know how to leave, so...
Yeah!
Then follow me, this way, come on!
Oh, nice! Nightmare fuel. So there's one addition that I still need to mention about this show, which is that the basic challenges have these 2 side characters called Sid and Elvis, who try and stop the kids from getting the monkey statues and completing the challenge. Sid and Elvis are 2 monkeys, by which I mean they're 2 humans in the most horrific full-size monkey costumes I've ever seen. They're supposed to be comedic when they do these little skits, but they're really just scary. Like, when I watched this show when I was younger, I was really creeped out by them. Look into those eyes. Those are the eyes of a monkey that's killed someone. Imagine being one of those monkeys. Like, imagine if that was your job. How would you explain that to people? So, what do you do for a living? Well, I dress up as a monkey and I grab at kids' ankles on television. So in the episode that I watched, the first challenge is a pretty simple zip wire, where the contestants have to grab monkey statues as they go down. There isn't much to say about this first challenge, apart from that I like how when they run off screen in the first shot, in the very next shot when they run back on screen, they're suddenly wearing harnesses and helmets.
Monkeys, you better stay out of my way. I'm coming down.
The next challenge takes place at Angel Falls, which is probably the best decorated area of the show. I think Jungle Run's set design and theming was probably one of the better elements of it, and it is astounding just the scale and the detail of this stuff, considering it was an early 2000s kids show.
Lads, welcome to the most beautiful part of the jungle. This is Angel Falls and challenge number 2. And it's quite a simple challenge. All you've got to do is use that rope to swing out and collect the baskets hanging from the vines over the pool. However, trying to stop you, or put you off at least, are Sid and Elvis. They're right over the top there. They're going to be lobbing coconuts.
That's right, gang. Sid and Elvis are going to be throwing rocks at you, trying to knock you unconscious, or maybe even kill you. And is that a gun I see up there? This challenge is a pretty fun rope swing game where you have to grab pots that are suspended above a pool. After that is a maze where one of the contestants, Ewan, is directed through by his friends to collect more monkey statues.
Right then, as you can see, we've got a great view of the maze from up here, which will help to guide Ewan around. But there is one thing I haven't told you. Once he gets in the maze, he's going to trigger an ancient security system. That means he's only going to have 1.5 minutes to get around and get out.
Now, why didn't I tell you this important detail until now? No reason. I just felt like it. This challenge also features my favourite moment in the episode.
What's this hand? Run!
In this episode, the kids end up getting all 4 statues in the maze, including the ruby monkey, which in total adds 50 more seconds to their time. The next challenge is called the Lost Cave, which involves contestants sliding along this balancing pole to try and grab statues hidden in baskets suspended above the ceiling, which seems to be a running theme of this show. The whole point of this challenge is you're supposed to grab the baskets without falling off, and if you do fall off, you're supposed to go to the back of the queue to start again.
Can I move up, yes? Wait. Stay on, try to stay on.
So are we just not playing by the rules here? So Ewan in this challenge has clearly had enough of these monkeys, just like any normal human being would, and so he gets off the pole and starts pelting them with the coconuts. They end this challenge with an additional 30 seconds worth of monkey statues, before heading off to the final challenge before the temple, the Dark Swamp. This is the most fun looking challenge of the episode. One person has to grab monkey statues from one side of this wall, while the 2 others on the other side of the wall have to push a plank through to help them step across the platforms. It goes pretty well until they start running out of time to turn around and come back, so the kid that's on the side of the wall decides to just jump across the platforms instead of using the plank, which, I mean, fair enough. That is a running theme of these sort of kids game shows, where sometimes the kids just figure out how to beat the challenge a much easier way, and the producers have already invested too much in the planning to make them stop and do it again, so they just let them get on with it. Finally, they get 4 more statues from that challenge, which brings their total time in the temple up to 2 minutes and 50 seconds. But before we get to that, I thought I'd go through a handful of other challenges that don't appear in this specific episode. The named locations on the host's map, like Dark Swamp or Lost Cave, aren't actually the names of the challenges, but are instead locations where in different episodes multiple challenges could take place. So for example, in some episodes, the Angel Falls location has a challenge where instead of swinging on a rope to grab baskets, contestants are instead diving underwater to open treasure chests. And the Lost Cave location has this Way of the Warrior style obstacle course instead of the balancing pole. It's a pretty convenient way of keeping the challenges new and exciting, while still keeping the same sets across the episodes. So the kids in the episode that I've covered have actually been really good at the challenges, especially compared to some kids on some episodes of the show. And so as a result, we actually haven't seen this one specific part of the show that I did want to talk about, which is that it's actually possible for a kid to get trapped halfway through a challenge, and then the other 2 just have to leave them behind for the rest of the episode. I know that happens in Trapped, but like, in Trapped you're sort of competing against each other, so, you know, there's no room for friends in Trapped. But on Jungle Run, these are like your best 2 friends, and you're just gonna like leave one of them in the jungle to die. Like in this episode, these 3 girls have to crawl through these cages that lock when they enter them, and the keys are mixed up across the different cages, so they have to plan the order that they're gonna enter and exit the cages so that they can unlock each other and get out before the end of the challenge. And I think you can imagine how this one goes.
Come on, you've only got 15 seconds, come on!
That's the one!
Okay, 2 of them locked in, you've got 10 seconds. You need to release someone, quick!
Come on!
You need to release somebody!
Come on! Get me out! Get me out! Here!
2 seconds!
Get me out! Get me out!
That's it, time's up, time's up. Rachel, time's up, I'm afraid. Come back here, please.
So the challenge ends with 2 of the kids trapped in the cages, and then kids' television show Jungle Run drops the heaviest moral conundrum it can on an 11-year-old.
I have with me a master key. The problem with this key is it can only be used once. So you need to decide who out of your team is the most valuable to you for the rest of the challenges.
Isn't this a saw trap? Wait, no, this is the trolley problem, isn't it? Like, pull the lever and one of your friends will die in the jungle.
Rachel,
What will happen to the other player?
The other player, I'm afraid, remains in the monkey trap for the rest of the jungle run.
One of them won't get any prizes at all.
If they're locked in the monkey trap, they can't, I'm afraid.
Please, Rachel.
Rachel, please.
Please.
Rachel.
Please, Rachel.
Rachel. Rachel, get me out. Get me out.
Please get me
You
out.
can get me out.
You can just see her entire friendship flashing before her eyes. Which one of them gave her the best birthday present? Which one of them's going to Disneyland this year? You see, Aaliyah's got the Barbie RV at her house, but Laura's got a trampoline.
The easiest way to do it is, don't look at it as, am I picking the better friend?
No, you are picking the better friend here.
Look at it this way. You think about who's going to be the most useful to you in the remaining challenges.
Laura.
Take the key, please, and release Laura.
Okay. I'm going trampoline. Aaliyah's in actual tears over this. This is just cruel. This is the greatest moment in television history. And then they just leave Aaliyah behind for the rest of the episode. And to make matters worse, they win.
Okay, well, you managed to retrieve yourselves this, the stone monkey idol. You've automatically got yourselves the exclusive Jungle Run monkey. And as well as that, you get each an electronic Tamagotchi.
But now we've come to the moment you've all been waiting for. I can't put it off any longer. Let's talk about the Temple of the Jungle King.
Right then, team, 5 challenges completed, and finally, we're here at the Temple of the Jungle King. So, now you can begin placing your monkey statues into the altar while I explain what you've got to do next. In a moment, you'll enter the royal chamber where 4 puzzles await. As you complete each puzzle, you'll be awarded a sacred idol. 1 stone, 1 bronze, 1 silver, and finally, the Jungle King's most precious possession, the golden monkey.
So when we left off, Murray, Ewan and Rory, the most Scottish kids in the world, had just amassed nearly 3 minutes in the temple. So the temple has 4 sections with a mini challenge in each. Completing each challenge grants you a monkey idol, either stone, bronze, silver or gold, depending on how deep into the temple you go. Your goal is to get in and out, completing as many challenges and collecting as many idols as you can before your time runs out and the entrance to the temple is sealed forever. You know, what is it with these British kids shows and just trapping kids places forever? Jungle Run does it twice. CBBC had an entire show dedicated to it. 7-year-old George's anxiety was just through the roof watching these shows. The first challenge is a simple tilting marble maze, which they complete pretty easily to get the stone idol. The bronze idol challenge is a jigsaw puzzle, which is done pretty quickly as well. But the real challenge comes when they reach the silver idol puzzle.
Okay, got 1 minute 55 seconds, come on.
14 and 14. So that's 1 and 2 is 3. No.
Yeah, so we're definitely dead. You could not count on 11-year-old me to do basic maths under time pressure. I wouldn't have been able to do that in class, let alone in the Temple of the Jungle King. Indiana Jones never had to do that shit. He never ran away from a boulder doing his 3 times tables. I think this is a really good episode to showcase because the kids are just very good at every challenge they attempt. They complete the final challenge and get out of the temple with a minute to spare. And in case you're wondering what it looks like when kids don't complete the challenge in time, here's a clip.
Okay, you want to start thinking about getting out? I would suggest...
That's 11.
10 seconds!
10 seconds!
That's 5. Unbelievable. Out of time. Guys, I don't know what to tell you. You had your 20-second warning. I told you at 15 you got to get out.
No, we didn't.
You didn't leave quick enough.
We didn't hear it.
Well, you seem pretty shocked.
Yeah, I'd be pretty shocked too. You've just trapped me in a temple for the rest of my life. But I mean, ITV's not actually gonna kill those kids, are they? First trapped, now this. It just seems like every British show is obsessed with murdering children. But back to the Scottish kids who have just made it out of the temple with the 4 idols and have completely destroyed Jungle Run. So what prizes could await them? Well, first off, those idols are going straight to the British Museum for preservation. But these kids, they must get some kind of cash prize or riches beyond their wildest imagination for this daring trip into the jungle.
Right, here's what you've won. For collecting the stone monkey idol, you each win yourselves an impact-proof skateboard. For returning the bronze monkey idol, you each win yourselves a handheld games console. For returning the silver monkey idol, you each win yourselves a digital camera. And finally, for retrieving the golden monkey, you each win yourselves a top-of-the-range MP3 player with separate speaker system.
An MP3 player? Is this some kind of sick joke? My parents won't even let me get MP3 files anymore, ever since I discovered LimeWire and infected the family computer with uncomfortable videos. Look, the file name said Britney Spears music video. I don't know who that man was. This is what the British government does, you know? You risk your life trying to retrieve sacred artifacts, and then they just insult you. Wait, was that a Game Boy Advance? Everyone likes to dunk on the prizes from Jungle Run nowadays, but you've got to put yourself in the shoes of an 11-year-old from 2005. Look, I'm sure a blocky digital camera for taking 240p pictures of your friends was the coolest thing ever back in the day. And with that, that's the end of an episode of Jungle Run. Of all the game shows I've covered so far, even though Raven is still my overall favourite, I think Jungle Run is a really close second. And in fact, I think it would have been my favourite, if not purely for the fact that it was on CITV, so I just didn't really want to watch adverts all the time. If I had the choice to go on either Raven or Jungle Run, I think nowadays I probably would pick Jungle Run. Raven is great, but I just like how much more active the challenges are in Jungle Run. Also, there's no prizes in Raven. And I do kind of want that Game Boy. But anyway, that's my look at Jungle Run. It was a great show from the 2000s, and I had a lot of fun looking at it, and I hope you enjoyed hearing me talk about it. If you have any thoughts about Jungle Run, or any ideas for something you'd like me to cover next, please let me know. Other than that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.